Hi, I'm Mark Walker. Thank you for coming to our demo day and for learning about my Task Manager project. I'd like you to take a moment and think back over your career. What was your favorite job so far, and why is that your favorite job? Is it the people that you worked with? Were they fun? Did you look forward to going in? Did you enjoy working together as a team? Maybe it was the role. You felt like what you did mattered. Um, Perhaps it was the growth. You felt like you were always learning something new. Whatever it was, it probably never felt like work, or if it did, it at least felt like satisfying work. Let's go now to your favorite manager and what made them your favorite. Was it because they appreciated what you did? They invested in your career, and just overall, they genuinely cared about you. So that is a foundational principle to my engineering leadership or my leadership philosophy. I've been doing engineering leadership for over 20 years, and I can sum it up to this. People don't care what you know until they know that you care. So what are we talking about here? It's culture. In one sentence, if I had to describe culture, it's on Sunday night, how do you feel about having going into work on Monday morning? Is it a have to or a get to? So leadership is responsible for driving the culture at every level. The company as a whole, each organization, the departments, team, even the individual, it's up to leadership to drive the culture. And leadership's going to be driving that intentionally or unintentionally. Think of it like on the one side, you've got a captain who's confident, you're in a motorboat with a full tank of gas, you've got the navigation, and you know where you're going. On the other end of the scale, you've got a captain who doesn't have all those things. You're in a rowboat with no oars, adrift and driven by the tides, probably somewhere in between all of that. So, how do leaders drive culture? So, our culture at work drives our attitudes about work. Our attitudes about our workplace then in turn drive our behaviors. So if there are areas where you want to improve in this, you have to intentionally and willfully make a habit out of a new behavior. As you do that, the behavior then changes your attitudes about work. And then your attitude about work will help change the culture as a whole. So leaders are focusing on this and they're bringing adoption of improved culture through continuous improvement. So leadership drives culture, culture drives success. So why are managers rarely trained for this work? Typically, a manager is promoted into the role because they've been a great individual contributor in that area. Training is at best on the job, fake it till you make it, sink or swim. Uh, Maybe there's some informal training, like your boss occasionally giving you some encouraging criticism. Um, Most likely, as it was in my case, it's self-driven growth. You're just motivated on your own to become better. So this is where Wellens comes in. This is a company that I partnered with to build out one feature that they're looking to add to their product. Wellens, like I, knows that managers aren't set up to succeed, and it's costing a company their best people. So their goal is to help managers lead, coach, and deliver. They're doing that with their AI copilot that integrates into the office communication platform like Slack and focusing on bringing continuous improvement to the managers, their staff, and what I think is most important, the relationships between those two, because that's ultimately what usually makes the difference between a great manager and an awesome manager. The way they do that is by facilitating one-on-ones, performance reviews, and manager insights. So why a task manager? Uh, for me, it's all about the performance review goal amnesia. I've seen this happen in so many places for myself and others that the goals from your last performance review are forgotten until you're sitting down to write your next one. And then it's, what did I do? The metrics are lost now, even if you did anything during that 6 months. So you don't have intentional career growth for your staff if it's like that. Okay, with that, now that we understand the need, let's walk through a graph for creating a task and, if necessary or desired, breaking it down into subtasks. So I've entered some input here. Complete a performance review of Maya Exemplary, one of my top employees, by June 25th. And here's the graph that it's going to go through. So we'll submit that. And you'll see it begins by extracting the task. And then there's a judge that's going to validate the task. If there are issues, it will loop through and bring the human into the loop to clear anything up. In our case, we should be moving forward to asking if we want to break up into subtasks. And why, yes, I do. So now it's going forward and it's generating the subtasks. Again, there's a judge in place to validate the work is good. And then it's going to present those to me so that I, as the user, have the opportunity to make any suggestions about it. So looking at this list here, I know from personal experience that there's a step missing between 8 and 9 here. So I'm going to say, please add secure approval from HR after number 8. So now it's going to go out. It's going to retry the subtask, apply my input to that, and then it will come back and present the list again. And so here we have our list, and you can see number 9 has been inserted there. And so I can tell it that these are great, thanks. And then we resume, and it's going to go out and it will create the tasks now after it reviews my input. And we're good to go. So hopefully you've noticed and you're a little curious about what those numbers are in the bottom corners of this slides. The 50 on the left represents one career growth task per week done by an employee over the course of a year. The other 2 weeks are vacation. On the right-hand side, that 250 represents one work-related task per day for a year by an employee. So the tasks we complete at work impact 5 areas. There's the individual themselves, their team, the product they're working on, customer satisfaction, and which is the most important part because that drives revenue. So if you take those in a company of 200 people, that 50 becomes 50,000 impactful tasks. And the 250 becomes 250,000 improvements. So that leads to my next question, which is, what could your business do in a year with 300,000 impactful tasks? In conclusion, then, I'd just like to encourage everyone here, no matter what you're doing, make sure that what you're doing is intentionally impactful. Like when you throw a rock into water and it creates ripples. You did that on purpose. And because here's the thing, everything you do is impactful. Thank you for coming today.